going on YouTube? Angry Hogs with another video. Today the spotlight is on my African Grey. I'm gonna make a video basically titled the 5 reasons why you shouldn't get an African Grey Parrot. The Latin name is Psittacus eretacus, and there are around 17,000 examples in the wild. 17,000, which puts them right at the borderline of sites 1 and 2. And before we get started, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my bird. He was born on the 14th of November 2021, and he is just over 2 years old. He's basically 2 years and around 2 months old, maybe 3 months, and he's a male. And we got his sexing done through the blood work that we did, so 100% confirmed male. And he is a very nice, very smart, intelligent bird. Basically, there's 17,000 of them in the wild as of today. A little over 17,000. So that puts them right in borderline of sites 1 and 2. And if you're not familiar with what sites 1 and 2 is, it's basically when they're endangered, then they put them in the protective species list, and depending on how endangered they are, they either go from sites 1 or sites 2. These guys have been in the borderline. They've been in the last 10 years. They've been on both sites 1 and 2, bouncing back and forth. In Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland, they have these meetings, and basically they determine where and how endangered they are. So that's a bad thing, because when they're in sites 2, they're harder to get. They're illegal to sell, this and that. So that's a bad thing about these parrots, that if they are on an endangered species, then you need special licensing to sell them. You need special permits and things like that. When they are on sites 1, then obviously it's good news for just your regular hobbyist. Like myself, I don't breed them. I just enjoy them. Makes it really difficult, and the laws are constantly fluctuating and changing. He's exhibiting mating behavior, so he wants to mate with me. He really loves me, and but yeah, that's not a bad thing. It can be if he does it a lot. To reason number 2 why you don't want an African Grey, guys. So African Greys are it's not a family parrot. Basically loyal to just one person in the family, and that's usually the guy, the head of the household, or whoever they perceive as the alpha. And they are a flock bird, so they have hierarchy, which means that there is one alpha bird, and if they recognize you as their keeper, as the alpha, then they're gonna respect you, and it's just gonna be one person. Everybody else is equal to them. So they're not good with kids. If you have kids like myself, I have 4 kids in the house, ranging from ages 9 and under. So definitely you gotta watch out, because they're just loyal to me, and nobody in the house can touch them like I'm touching them right now. So just be careful, guys. They're not that friendly if they don't recognize you as the alpha. So that's one thing why you wouldn't want an African Grey if you have family. It doesn't make for a great pet, especially with a beak like that, guys. A beak like that can really do some damage. A small bird can do some damage, but a big beak like that can really hurt. If he bites down, it could really hurt. When my kids walk by the cage, he'll like try to pull their hair with the beak, and he'll just really if he's not in the mood. Sometimes he will let him touch him and hold him and carry him, but more often than not, they are his equals. So he doesn't take anything from anybody else. That's not me. Reason number 3 why you don't want an African Grey: because they are pricey, expensive, $ all over. If you're in the United States, it can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000, and that's just the bird. Not to say the vet bill, exotic vet. You gotta have a special big enough cage. You have to have this really thick cage, so that way they don't bite or they don't break through it. Because they are very strong bird. And Yeah, they're very expensive. Here in Europe, they're a little bit more accessible because the means are not as high, the cost of living. So you're able to get them about 1,000 here, $1,000 here in Europe. They are going up in price, but nonetheless, they are very, very pricey. So reason number three why you don't want to get an African Grey, well, if you're not willing to spend that much money on a bird, then they can be really pricey. So that's a con. Reason number four being that they require a lot of attention. They're a very emotional bird. They are very intelligent. They're known to be as smart as a 5-year old. So I mean, look at that. He talks a lot, guys. He talks a lot, and he's just a very smart, very social, highly intelligent, highly emotional bird. He will let you know when he wants attention. He will say it with words. He does express it with words. So when he wants my attention, he calls me papa, because that's what all my kids call me in the house. So he's like papa, papa, dad, dad. And, and then he will say mama too. So he'll call out for my wife. He'll say mama, and basically that means, hey, give me attention. I'm lonely and I want to be with you. So they'll let you know. And if you're not there to take care of them, and that's not just, husbandry is one thing. Keeping these animals is one thing, but if you're not there emotionally for him, or you're not there with responsive to his needs, then it is a bird that will exhibit depression. He will get depressed. He'll start plucking his feathers. As you see, our bird, thankfully, we're here most of the day. I work from home a lot of the time. So he's got beautiful feathers. It's just awesome. It's an awesome bird when you're able to provide and be responsive to their needs. But if you're not, then don't get an African Grey, because they live 60 years and it's a big commitment. It's a lifetime. It'll probably bury you instead of you burying the African Grey. So that's the reality. These things are highly intelligent, highly emotional. Yeah, that's very cool, but you need to be responsive. And if you know that you're not going to be responsive because of life situations, don't get an African Grey. And the last reason why you shouldn't get an African Grey is because there's still wild side to them. They are domesticated birds, but just like any other animal, they evolve over time, they adapt over time, and these birds are very skittish, so they're not 100% tame. For example, like this water bottle, it's not like you need to socialize them from a very early time. Okay, so he's not afraid of that. Let's go ahead and get this stick. He's really afraid of this.
He's afraid of sticks.
Yeah, he's afraid of sticks, like things that he's never seen before. For example, this mink oil. He's just very afraid of new things. So it makes it hard. That's why I don't put toys, because he's very particular about what makes him feel comfortable. A giraffe, a harmless giraffe. Just very skittish. So that's why socialization is very important when they're young and they're growing up. So they're very skittish, and that's a con. It's not like any other bird who could be more comfortable around people and family. These are birds that are really afraid, and that can cause a lot of stress to them. So you need to keep a stress-free environment, and you need to know and understand the needs of your birds. Well, guys, hope you guys liked the video, and we love our African Grey. He stays out of the cage. We're here most of the time, and 80% of the time we're able to provide attention for him, whether it be a positive 5-minute interaction to just having that a daily exercise. So yeah, hope you guys liked the video, and if you guys have any questions, leave it down in the comments, and hopefully we'll be making more videos of our African Grey. It's really a neat species, but it's not for everybody, guys. So have a good day. Give them a kiss, Majo. Mwah. Until next time. Adios.